Okay, listen. I said I wouldn't bother with making a video before King's Fall dropped, but I just couldn't help myself as the weapons this season are incredibly cool, and I just want to talk to you guys about them. That, and it's 1 in the morning, and I have caffeine surging through my veins thanks to Advanced GG, which, speaking of which, use code DemonJoe on their site for a discount, link in the description to support the channel, and shout out to Jester Juice for doing just that. Thank you so much, and enough rambling, so enjoy the video. Arg, me mateys, welcome to Season of the Plunder. This season, like all seasons, we got 6 new seasonal weapons that are tied to the seasonal activity. Unlike other seasons, however, take a drink every time I say seasons, this time around we've got pirate weapons. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down all 6 of the new pirate weapons, going over their PvE god rolls, discussing how to farm them, and of course, ranking them in the order of what I think is best. And before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe as I have a ton of PvE focused content coming your way this season here on the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into this. First things first, as usual, how do we farm out these new pirate weapons? Well, when it comes to Season of Plunder, we have 2 main activities and 2 main currencies. The activities are Catch Crash and Expeditions, with the currencies being map fragments and treasure coordinates. Basically, after doing your intro stuff for the season, just run Catch Crash to get map fragments, then run literally anything in the game just about to get treasure coordinates. Then you open up your quest tab and go to the Captain's Atlas to combine them to create a treasure map, which will give you pirate loot at the end of your expeditions. Of course, the more you play, you'll be earning more rep, as well as completing seasonal challenges for upgrades, and therefore will be able to unlock umbral focusing at the helm via the star chart, and that'll also be a pretty good way for grinding out some red borders to be able to craft these weapons in the future. Now that you guys know how to farm the pirate weapons out, let's kick off the video by talking about my favorite of them all, and that is the Brigand's Law Sidearm. When I tell you guys that this weapon is basically the ARC version of the Callus mini tool this season, I'm being 100% serious, and you can say that you heard it here first. At first glance, we have ourselves an ARC rapid fire sidearm with a pretty small magazine of 15, which just so happens to be one of its greatest strengths. Allow me to introduce you to the perk Volt Shot. This perk states that reloading this weapon after defeating a target is going to overcharge the gun, causing it to jolt on its next hit. This means that you're essentially hitting an enemy with a Trinity Ghoul arrow that is going to chain lightning to enemies nearby. Because of the small magazine, you're going to be constantly volt shotting your targets, which in turn gives you ridiculous ad clear potential. Combine this with the Pugilist perk in the first column, which is the melee version of Demo, and you have yourself a constant barrage of chain lightning that you'll be dishing out to the enemies in front of you. All of the arc melees for all of the classes this season is phenomenal, so the lightning from that combined with Volt Shot is going to be ridiculous. This is one of the nastiest weapons this season without a doubt, and if you're looking for a gem, it better be this sidearm. All of this is coming from someone who cannot stand the weapon type, so you know I mean what I say. Up next, from Legendary Trespasser, we have a gun that we've been needing for a while now, and that is the Tarnished METTLE. Ladies and gents, an actual farmable ARC scout rifle is upon us, and what's even better is it's essentially if 𝗏𝗡𝗡 and 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 had a baby. 𝗏𝗡𝗡 because it's a 200 RPM with Rapid Hit Explosive as the perk roll, but also 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because holy shit, it takes up my entire screen. Aside from that though, this scout is incredible and is a must-have for people that run Grandmaster content especially. A more casual content friendly role, however, would be Demolitionist Explosive or Demo Dragonfly to lean completely into those explosions. It also can roll Volt Shot, but I personally would pass on that perk since depleting your magazine is going to take a lot longer with this gun, seeing as it's semi-auto, and as we saw with the sidearm, higher RPM weapons are the play for building around that perk. Since we've been talking about only ARC weapons thus far, let's throw in a throwback and talk about stasis weapons, this one being the Blood Feud. If you've been wanting a 750 stasis SMG, then this weapon is for you. Rolling with pretty good perks like Triple Tap, Ambition, and Pugilist in the first column, as well as Wellspring, Headstone, and Frenzy in the final, you're looking at a very solid weapon overall. The role I'm personally looking for will be Ambitious Frenzy, but Pugilist Wellspring sounds like a really good time for anybody wanting to create some gnarly stasis ability builds. Outside of that, this is a good weapon overall, with my only complaints being the subpar stats, which granted, said, if you craft this weapon, you can fix that yourself, as well as the weird looking spider legs that move on the sights of the weapon while firing. Anyways, if you still indulge in the dark arts of the 𝗍𝗂𝗵𝗡, this weapon may be the one that you want on your radar. Since we did the same with Arc, let's go 2 for 2 right quick on Stasis and talk about the no reprieve slug shotgun. If you're looking for a DPS slug with incredible 𝗕𝗏 potential inside in-game content, then you found it. This Stasis slug can roll with incredible perk combinations that will make even the most casual raider just a little bit horny. Taking a look at the first column, we have 𝗨𝗏 for DPS weapons, which is triple tap, with the final column featuring either surrounded or the more consistent choice, focused fury. This combined with a 𝗕𝗏 damage buff inside raid content makes for an incredible shotgun that I'd recommend most people try and get their hands on. For more casual players though, a role like Outlaw Headstone looks like some fun, but just use Ice Luna at that point, to be honest. Moving on, we find ourselves at the only weapon I still don't have yet because my RNG is horrendous, and that is the SAILSPY PITCHGLASS Linear Fusion. I only feature this weapon low in today's video mainly because of the crazy competition it has, with linears being incredibly abundant in the game right now, but this weapon still gets good rolls regardless. You're going to want to go with Rapid Hit or Clown combined with Focus Fury or Frenzy, but unfortunately it doesn't have firing line, making it as good as other linears in raid scenarios. But regardless, it is a solid option and readily available for more casual / solo players, which is very nice. And finally, here at the end of the video, we find ourselves with the final gun of the set, and that is the PLANCK'S Stride machine gun. Honestly, this weapon kinda had last place coming, not only for being a 900 RPM machine gun, which I absolutely dislike because it just tears through all your ammo economy, but it also just has overall mid perks, at least for the first column, making it feel like kind of a waste. Taking a look at the first column, we have perpetual motion, and that's about it, with the final column featuring One For All, Pugilist, and yet again, that's about it. I will say that this gun does feel really nice with the recent machine gun buffs, but I can't really recommend a weapon that isn't really bringing the heat in either its archetype or perk columns. When it comes to arc machine guns, I would just stick with a fine memorial from the moon and call it a day. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for the first video of the new season. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope this guide kicks off your loot grind sessions with excitement as you go out, plunder some fallen ships, and walk away with treasure maps to all the booty you could want. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching the video until the very end. I do apologize if it was a little short because I kind of want to get back on that King's Fall grind, just making sure I got everything ready for the day 1 raid. But as soon as all of that is done, as soon as I complete the day 1, hopefully, which I'll be streaming on my Twitch, then videos can continue and we can get to covering the rest of the weapons of the season, getting some reviews out and all of that stuff. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. As always, shout out to my Patreon supporters, as well as my tier 2s being Homebase Serenity, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, John, and Onrock, as well as my tier 3 patrons 𝘁𝗵𝗄 and 𝗁𝗍𝗓𝗏. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.